Do you like pattern hacking? I do. Hi, my name is Agata. Welcome in Agata's Cottage. It's time to talk about Pattern Hackathon. It's a sewing challenge that was started 3 years ago by Chris and Social. She is fabulous sewist, her style is impeccable, and she is queen of making sure your pattern fits perfectly. Her patterns fit perfectly. Follow her on Instagram and on YouTube. Her channel and her Insta are full of knowledge, and she shares it willingly and happily. And she's so joyful, an amazing person. I absolutely love interacting with her, and I'm happy to consider her a sewing friend. This year, she has a co host, Diana, 26 by Diana, uh, creator of So Lucky Jar Sewing Challenge and enormous personality. She is just fabulous. So she's joining Chris, and both of them are encouraging us this year to put our thinking cap on, release our creativity, and hack the hell out of our patterns. Rules of the challenge are simple. They are few, although they are simple. First, pick your base pattern, apply your changes, remember, not the fitting changes, sew your make, share on Instagram. And when you are sharing on Instagram, please remember the picture on your body or on the body of whoever you are making it for is required. The post need to be made by 11:59 p.m. of your time zone. In the post, you need to state the country of your country where you are based, because some prizes are country specific. You also need to include collaboration with Pattern Hackathon. So Chris has whole reel on Instagram about this. I will leave link down below to her Insta. You can have a look. So basically, whenever you are tagging it, you just need to invite to collaborate, and this way she will not miss any entries. This challenge is partially judged, so there are some categories where it's random draw, and there are some categories when it will be judged challenge. And don't forget to use hashtag Pattern Hackathon 2025. This challenge has ambassadors, which is not a usual thing for sewing challenge, but I absolutely love that every year Chris challenges some of the members of the sewing community ahead of time to pair up, pick the same pattern, and put their own spin on the same pattern. And it's always great fun to watch, um, to cheer them on, and I cannot wait to see all the hacks made by ambassadors. They are unbelievable. Last year, I was picking up my draw every week when new set of ambassadors was releasing their hacks. This challenge is split into weekly teams. You don't need to follow the teams, but they are good prompt to help us getting into groove, to engage community, to kind of ignite the inspiration in us. And as usually in a sewing challenge, they are fabulous prizes to be won. Chris did enormous, amazing job, and she gathered 28 sponsors for the prizes. So if you are planning to buy anything from one of the companies that are sponsoring the prizes, please put in the notes Pattern Hackathon whenever you are placing your order, so they know that you come over to their website, that you decided to buy from them, uh, and you are supporting this challenge. I know I'm planning to pick few patterns from our sponsors, and I'm very excited about the future makes. But now let's start with my spin on pattern hacking. I decided to share with you two of very simple hacks that I made that are perfect for beginner who is not entirely sure what to do about pattern hacking. They are both quite easy to make, and depending on the fabric you choose, they might pack a punch. So the pattern that I would recommend is the top pattern from New Look 6216. It is not the most size inclusive pattern, therefore that I found two patterns from indie designers that are size inclusive that you can swap for this, and basically the same changes will apply. One of the pattern is Everyday Tea by Ellie and Mac, and the other one is Naya Tea by Tammy Handmade. Both patterns are widely popular in the sewing community, and there is a big chance you have them in your stash. So what hacks I would suggest for this pattern? Both are very simple. I will start first with the one that I love the most, which is color blocking. Although you don't see big difference in color, in my example, it's more matter of texture and shine, but it's the same rule apply. So basically what I did, I took the front pattern piece and I marked where I want to split it. I had half of the meter of this sequence in my stash. I got it a few months earlier in one of my local shops, and I absolutely love it. I didn't want to have sequins anywhere near exposed skin. As you see, I apply neckband here. Therefore, I knew I didn't want to go even near the sleeve, so I wanted just to focus on the middle. Therefore, I marked on my pattern piece where I want to split, and I drew the line to the bottom of my pattern piece and I cut. By the way, I trace my pattern first. Every time when I do any type of hack requiring the change of the design lines of the pattern, I will trace my original pattern with the changes that I did, like FBA, etc., if they applied. And then I do the changes on the newly uh, copied version. So I copied the pattern, I marked where I want to do split, and I cut. Then I added tiny bit of paper on both sides, so on this side and on this side, for a seam allowance, because if I wouldn't, this would be too short. So as you see, it's very simple hack. You just basically do one line on a pattern piece and then just add seam allowance. And to stay within the seam allowance that's consistent, I just stick to the same seam allowance as is per pattern, not to confuse myself if I decide to use the same hack in the future. And I'm sure I will, because this option is great for color blocking, for using random scraps. Like, we all have just random narrow scraps. You could do it with 3 different colors. You could do it with 4 colors or just 2 colors, whatever you want. This is very versatile option. Depending on the fabric you choose, it might have big impact. So if you are beginner hacker, you are not entirely sure what to do about color blocking, I highly recommend. If you have a problem choosing colors in the color blocking, what I normally do, if I'm not entirely sure if the colors go together, I take a black and white picture of the fabrics that I want to use together and see if they look okay. Black and white basically is matter of hues, etc. I don't understand fully the science behind it, but um, I know that quilters do that, and that's what I do when I'm not entirely sure if I'm happy with the color blocking. The second hack I'm planning to suggest is very simple. It's adding ruching to the shoulder seam. Okay, so for the shoulder seam with the drop shoulder, ruching is ideal, perfect, super easy hack to make. What you need is a little bit of ribbon or a rope, which reminds me I need to replace the rope because the one that I originally used for that is no good whatsoever. It was something in my stash that I used because the color matched, and I'm not happy with the quality of it. Anyway, so I will show you here. I hope you can see. So as you see, there are seam lines, and I will show you the inside. What you need is a little bit extra, ideally of the same fabric you've been using for your top, but if you don't have same fabric, anything in similar tone will be fine. And what I did is I applied rectangle, so I sewn rectangle on both sides of the shoulder seam and then across the shoulder seam. Remember, the opening on the top here cannot be closed. The same with opening on the bottom. It's basically 3 additional seams, or like top stitching seams, a little bit of ribbon or a rope, and you have your ruching done. It's a very simple hack, very quick to make, and it's perfect for beginner hacker who is not entirely sure how to get on with all the hacking. So I highly recommend you give it a go. What plans I have for pattern hackathon? I have 3 fabrics in my stash that I bought in recent weeks from my local shop, and I really want to sew them up because I promised myself I'm not buying anything new until I have them sewn. And I seen some lovely fabrics that I really want to buy, so I need to get cracking. First fabric I want to use is this fabulous poppies. The color is a little bit um, bolder on the camera than it is in real life. In real life, they are more crimson raspberry red than the bold red, but I absolutely love this fabric. It's a viscose and I have 2 meters of it, which is perfect for either long sleeve blouse or a dress with an impact. So I'm planning to make this, extend the dress as much as I can using the fabric available, and add the split as high up the thigh as reasonably acceptable. I'm also hoping to make this bow more dramatic if I have enough fabric. We will see. So I'm thinking of doing the collar so I can bend it double and have very big bow, but we will see. For me, priority is getting as long dress with as high split as possible versus getting bigger bow. Plan number 2 and fabric number 2. It's this cotton with lurex I got a few weeks ago from my local shop So in Maze, and I absolutely love it. And I was thinking a lot what to do with it. And then one day I saw on Pinterest very cute yoke on the back of the shirt. I will pop the picture here. And I thought it will be fabulous in this specific fabric. So I rummaged through my patterns. I wanted to pick something I haven't used before just to stretch myself and to try different patterns. And I picked this. It's New Look 6394. And I'm thinking of doing view E. However, of course, I will shorten it because I don't like too long shirts, and I don't want it to be over shirt. I want it to be more like a blousey shirt with the yoke. It does have a yoke at the back, and what I'm thinking is mixing up the color and using normal color versus stunt color. We will see. During the sewing, I might change my mind and decide to go for something completely different. You know how it is when sometimes you are sewing and then inspiration strikes or something pops to your head. At least that's how it works for me. And so I'm very excited about this make. It's not going to be gigantic hack, but I think it will be cute enough. And the last fabric I'm most excited about. It's this gorgeous polka dot stretch cotton I got in So a few weeks ago. Originally, I was planning to make a blazer in this fabric. However, after a lot of thought, I decided it's completely not practical for me to have a blazer that I have one skirt and one pair of trousers that will go well with it. Just, it's not my thing. However, it would be good to have a skirt and a matching top that I can mix and match with blue trousers I have, blue skirt, denim skirt, jeans, and other things in my wardrobe. So I decided to hack two patterns and make a matching set. So for the top will have very basic hack. I'm planning to use a New Look 6407 and I'm planning to use View E. I will definitely not make rounded hem. I do not like rounded hems. I prefer them straight. So I will use a straight hem. And what I'm also thinking is the sleeve here to do a little tulip sleeve and just finish it off with the bias binding that I will be using on the skirt. So just kind of add a little bit of edge to it. So that's the top I'm planning to use. Now for the skirt will require a little bit more thinking cap on, but I'm very excited about this. So I'm planning to use Burda style 6834 and I will be using View A. However, I will extend the View A to be to my knee, so probably another 3-4 inches. What I'm planning to do is middle panel, extend it very high top, do the ruching in the middle panel, apply bias tape with the stripes. I think it will look fabulous together. So do kind of like a piping with the bias tape and then add waistband. Not very thick, just narrow waistband to the top instead of facing. I do prefer waistbands versus facings. It's just my personal preference. So that's the hack that I'm planning to make with this pattern. I know it's a lot of mix I'm planning to hack, and I'm also thinking of hacking Adam Sew's Linda purse because I made my first one and I absolutely love it, and I have tons of ideas how to hack it. So I don't know when I will find time for it all. I know it's a lot of hacks that I'm planning, but I'm very excited about them all and I will do my best to find the time to work on those projects. Are you planning to participate in Pattern Hackathon? Do you like pattern hacking? Or you are strict by the rules, strict by the pattern person? I'm very curious. Don't forget to check other vloggers participating in this challenge and in this vlogging tour. I'm very excited to watch their videos. Don't forget, clean your sewing machine and change your needles. Happy sewing! Bye!